Dave and Darren's Top 5 Things. These are the top 5 things we managed to get done on our morning show over at Planet 93.9. My name is Dave. This is my partner, Darren. And we're sitting here with the window open in the studio today because it's just
Oh, you're just
gorgeous.
marvelous.
It's going to be it's 70s. We're recording this on March 9th, and we could be shattering a record today.
We won't say what year.
The Top 5 Things podcast is brought to us by Nature's Treatment of Illinois.
Yeah, they've got 2 locations, Tech Drive in Milan and West Main Street in Galesburg. Milan's open every day. Galesburg's open weekdays and Saturdays. The recreational waiting list is what you want to use. That makes it nice and easy, and it's available. You can reserve your time if you go to the website ntillinois.com.
Here we go. Number 1.
Number one.
Number one.
Use the Nextdoor app, which is a social media outlet for
Coyotes.
Neighborhoods. More often than not, it's people freaking out because they think they saw a coyote, or people alarmed that someone's taking pictures in their neighborhood. There's a lot of that. There's a woman taking pictures. And they like to freak out about that. Every once in a while, though, there's something that's not coyote related.
I saw a shadow.
My favorite was a couple of weeks ago, there was an older woman who was very confused because it seemed teenagers were ringing her doorbell. And then when she went to answer the doorbell, they were gone. And she was trying to figure out what was going on. It's called Ding Dong Ditch. It's been around since the invention of the doorbell.
I think it's the coyotes.
It could be. The coyotes are now
Self-aware.
This is from yesterday. This is a posting in the McClellan Heights neighborhood in Davenport. Train horn early Sunday morning. Hi, neighbors. I woke up a little before 7 a.m. this morning to a constant train horn blowing. It's now 8:50 a.m. and the horn is still going. Does anyone know where to go to ask about this and find out how to make this less obnoxious? Railroads do have quiet zones. Either Davenport isn't in one of them or the train conductor is disregarding it. But come on, it's been 2 hours and the horn just doesn't stop. Safety's important, but so is being a little more considerate to the communities the trains are traveling through. Did anyone else have an experience where the train horn was going on for 2 hours straight?
Now, here's my question.
Yeah?
Because I don't use this.
You really should. It's one of the more entertaining apps.
But the thing about it is, how often do you get a quick response?
No, yeah.
Isn't this the sort of thing that someone might respond to, like, 2 days from now?
There's plenty of responses here.
Is there?
Yeah. Someone says maybe someone's on the tracks. But they need to blow at every intersection.
There's a train in my driveway.
Do you hear the one that blows around 2 or 3 in the morning? I live on Kimberly. And if the wind is right, I can hear the noise. But you get used to it. It's just a way of life. Here's one that says, doesn't it irritate you? Why blow the horn so many times and then hold it? I understand safety, but it's all hours of continuous honking.
It doesn't look like we're getting any closer to any answers here, though.
Well, no. To your point, Darren, the train conductor's not going to go, here's why I'm laying on the horn.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Here's one from the same neighborhood. It says, I've been in this house 33 years. Yes, I hear the trains. We're not that far off the river. But I find it's a comforting sound for me. Yeah, it's tough if you cannot sleep, but there's a low growl that becomes the roar of I-74 River Drive Locust. It starts at 4:45 and it builds.
Again, not really providing any sort of answer. More just commentary.
My dad worked for the railroad for many years. I used to ask him lots of questions about trains, especially about the horns. And here's some information that I learned. It's all about safety. Train horns are required to sound for 15 to 20 seconds before they enter public grade crossings, or within a quarter mile. Horn blasts for that are 2 long, 1 short, 1 long, until the train has cleared the crossing. Engineers can also sound the horns in emergency situations and vary the pattern as needed. Chances are it was a busy traffic time for trains, and more than one came through the crossings, or something happened and one had an emergency situation. I love the sound of trains. It's music to my ears. I like trains. More people telling this woman to stuff it. We live a few blocks up from the river. We always hear the train, and we love it.
Is anyone else hearing the submarines at 2 o'clock in the morning? Is what I would like to know. I can't be the only one. Signed, alarmed.
Oh, that's great. It's just the best.
Is anyone else getting woke up by these Russian submarines?
Here's one from 2 days ago. Did anyone else in the Pigeon Creek neighborhood experience ding-dong ditching around 10:45 tonight? Our outdoor lights were on, and we were able to witness 3 to 5 teenagers run and hide in our neighbors' bushes. A lot of coyotes, a lot of ding-dong ditch, and now people either reminiscing or complaining about train horns. It's the Nextdoor app, and it's my life right now.
But that's not in your neighborhood.
Well, there are neighborhoods that are adjacent to my neighborhood. The neighborhoods have to be kind of close for you to get information. Like, I wouldn't get information.
Oh, you can't get information from.
No, the whole point of this is that it's people that live kind of nearby you. Here's another one. This one's from McClellan Heights. I have a camera on my front door, and at 4:12, a boy with a mostly red and some white shirt rang on my doorbell. I'm well over 80 years old, and I do not appreciate this.
His mustache was mostly red, too.
He was with 3 other boys, and they ran, but I have a photo. Please talk to your kids about this. It has happened before. So there's a real string of ding-dong ditching going on out there.
So I fired upon them. At first, warning shots, and then...
Oh, no. Here's somebody posting missing family photos were delivered to the wrong house. Please let me know if you received them. Orange envelope. New grandbaby pics inside that I've been anxious to get. And I'm looking at the name. It's Rana, our sales manager. What?
Well,
Rana, nobody's ding-dong ditching you. Count your blessings. Well, we got to find out if Rana got her pictures when she comes in today. Here's one from 3 days ago from the Duck Creek neighborhood. It says, I've been shot with frozen paintballs.
and I don't play paintball.
I wasn't playing paintball. Oh, no. Here's one. I have a collection of salt and pepper shakers. I'd like to sell the entire collection. From the 60s and older, 100 sets. If interested, please contact me. So there's a little bit of commerce that goes on this site.
Mm-hmm. Trying to sell 100 shakers.
Here's one. Now, this guy never got an answer. He lives in the Deerbrook neighborhood. He says 3 bells at 8:07 and 8:07 a.m. and 8:07 p.m. Where are the 3 bells I hear from every day a little after 8 in the morning and evening? I hear them in Deerbrook, but I don't know how far away they are. So people hearing noises.
I demand satisfaction.
Oh, I have an update here. I sold the salt and pepper shakers.
And
thanks to everyone who showed an interest.
And I also sold the baby pictures. I'm a resident of Pigeon Creek. My question is, are you experiencing pigeons?
If anyone would like to buy this family's pictures, please lay on a train horn for 3 hours. I'll be able to find you that way.
I'll know that you're a taker.
If you're interested in buying whoever's pictures these are, I will deliver them. But you must lay on a horn for 3 hours.
I will deliver them via paintball.
Here's another one from McClellan Heights. This is from last week. It says, I know this has been an SOB winter, but please put a little drying agent on your sidewalks. I just took a Three Stooges header. I know in another day or two it'll be dry. Thanks. A Three Stooges header. Now, you managed to go the whole winter without falling and taking a Three Stooges tumble, huh?
I did. Came close a few times. but
Well, if anyone knows what's going on with the horn, or if you're somebody who lays on the train horn on a Sunday morning for 3 consecutive hours,
because it's fun.
please knock it off. It's just something fun to do.
It's my revenge against the world.
Two.
Researchers saying in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, and yes, that's a journal that we do subscribe to, they're saying, according to their studies, people talk too long. They say people chat for too long. The study looked at 126 one-on-one conversations in a laboratory. These were conversations in a lab that took place between strangers. And when the conversations were over, they asked the participants, well, how do you think that went, that conversation? What percentage of people would you guess would say that the conversation needed to come to an end sooner than it did?
In a lab setting?
They take two strangers, they put them in a lab, they say, okay, have a conversation. What percentage of participants say they wish the conversation ended sooner?
It's a strange environment to be in.
It is.
See, I usually take my advice from Rick Springfield.
Which is?
Don't talk to strangers.
I thought you were going to say bop till you drop in the heart of the city. Keep on moving day and night.
Well, there is that too.
No, Darren. 69% of participants
69, dude!
said they wish things ended sooner.
I wish I wasn't in this lab.
They say that of these conversations, these one-on-one conversations, only 2% ended when both parties agreed that was the time the conversation needed to end. People are rarely in sync on what their conversation partner wants. Yesterday, I was doing some yard work, and a fellow who's in the neighborhood was walking by. Now, I don't know this gentleman, but he complimented me on the job I had done on my bushes. So we were having a little bit of small talk about the weather.
Risque.
No. It was very nice. It was much appreciated. I crave feedback, especially positive feedback.
Nice bush.
So then we were talking and back and forth, and then it got to a point where
Go away now.
I had felt like the conversation was
At
done.
that point, I sprayed him with the hose.
No, I didn't.
Move along.
But we were talking about he wanted to talk about his bushes and how he wonders if maybe the bushes at his house have different makeup because he's not able to get them as square as my bushes are. And I was saying, well, what are you gonna do? Like it was just small talk. And this is a gentleman who's of advanced age, so he wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere.
Did you tell him there's nothing wrong with a nice round bush?
I didn't. I didn't want to get into it. And then he recognized me from television. So then he wanted to talk about beer a little bit, which is always great. I mean, that's I'm honestly like
now,
that's all I needed.
How did he bring that up?
He said, "Hey, you're the beer guy," which is people.
Hey, you're the milkman.
People recognize me as the beer guy. People rarely say, "Aren't you from Brood?" They go, "You're the beer guy on TV." I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's me too." So that was lovely too, right? This guy had checked out all the boxes that I want from a conversation with a stranger. Told me he thought I was doing a good job, and then recognized me. Like that's all I want. But then it kept going, and we were talking about bushes, and then I just thought, okay, well, we're done. So then I said, hey, well, take it easy. Like, because I had run out of things to say.
Do you think I'd make a good king of England?
And
Because I do.
I do think I'd be a great royal. I wouldn't be such a jerk about it like they are. Anyway, that was the end of the conversation, and he continued his walk, and it was lovely. It was a lovely conversation. But then I second-guessed myself, like, did I brush him off? Because, like, we had run out of things to talk about. Bushes and beer, and that was it.
And if he's not going to speculate about what kind of king I'd be,
Well,
then I think we're done here.
the whole Royals conversation hadn't happened yet. This was just before the interview happened last night with Oprah and
Yeah, I see those
Harry
two are
and
going to be
Meghan.
sitting down. I think I'd have been a good king. To this day, still.
Ain't I something?
Listen, I just think, having watched The Crown and a little bit that I'm able to glean about what goes on in their lives right now, they're all just monstrous people. And I think it's not that hard to just be a decent human being
Well,
when your entire existence is taken care of.
Well-
And that was the problem with Princess Diana was she was able to be a human being, and that's why they didn't care for her. I'm telling you.
Well, that's the same problem they would have with you.
Well, but I'd deal with it better than she did.
You would be a better royal than Lady Di.
I think I would be better equipped to deal with it, yes. I think that I would be like, listen, everybody, here's how it's going to go. You're going to keep giving me whatever I want, and I'm going to be cool.
Are you going to be King David or King Dave?
Okay, in the world where I was born into the royal family and not the family that I am right now, I imagine David. I imagine they would go
already
with my,
putting on airs.
Well, I don't know that King Dave has the same regal tone that the people.
Yeah, but you're a man
demand.
of the people.
Yes, I would be. I absolutely would be. Yes, smiles, everybody.
Now, do you think that you would, when you were among the commoners,
Yeah.
what would you pass out?
Oh, headshots. Signed headshots. Me in the crown.
with me on the crown. Now that is perfect.
So the crown kind of tilted. You know what? It would look a lot like the Elvis Costello King of America album cover. In fact, it would be exactly like that.
It would be that.
Signed,
it would be
King David.
My face photoshopped on Elvis Costello.
Yeah. I would just Photoshop. I would have someone in the Ministry of Communication or whatever
That's
they got there,
marvelous.
the
All right.
press office.
So you're not handing out pound notes, or you're not handing out jawbreakers or candy or anything.
Everlasting gobstoppers.
Candy or anything. Just headshots of you with a crown on it. Would you like me to sign this?
Here you go, subject.
I just sign it, King.
I don't personalize these. There's a lot of subjects, and if I
Yes, no, I can't
personalize
do
all
that.
of them,
I can't do that.
my royal hand will fall off.
I
But
just
here you
write
go,
King.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. All right,
that's a good idea.
All right, so I'm King David, and you're a subject. Let me let me tell you exactly how it go, because I've thought about this. I have my patter down. All right. All right. Good to meet you. I'm King David.
Hello, Governor.
No, I'm the king. I'm your king.
That's
here,
right, Governor.
King of England, and here you go. Here's a little something for you now.
I got the scurvy.
Well, all of us do. All of us do. Here you go.
Any chance you got a lime?
No, those are hard to come by here. But I do have this for you.
What's that?
It's a headshot.
What am I going to do with this?
I'll put it up on your wall. Frame it. But I'll tell you this: don't let me catch you trying to sell it on eBay.
I might have to, Governor. I'm quite hungry.
I gotta get back to my castle. There's a lot of.
Is there any food at the castle?
Oh, lots of food, more than I could ever possibly eat. But don't try not to think about that.
What would be a good day for me to storm the castle?
Well, we're not really into you guys storming. If you want to visit, there's like a line you can wait in. You can visit, and then they'll show you parts of my house. But there's parts of the house that I'd rather you not be in. And again, this was all God's plan that I would be the monarchy and you would be just a regular guy with no teeth in your mouth. But I want you to enjoy that headshot.
Why do you have an American accent?
Well, I was born in the States.
Don't you know?
I went overseas and I got my education over there. Yeah, that's why.
Work release
that's why I sound like
program.
this is when I watch that Crown, it's like they're all just monsters. You have your life made, and they're all like, I'm not happy. I wish I had. Like, I get why this Prince Harry said I'm out of this, because it's a bunch of cuckoos. I get it. Like I got mad respect for this guy and Meghan. Get out of that situation. If you're not happy, leave. That's fine. But I'm telling you, I would be happy. I would find a way. If I were a royal, I would be cool. Everyone would like me, and I wouldn't be such a jerk all the time. Like this Prince Charles is just the worst. What he did to that poor Princess Diana, you ought to be in jail. You ought to be in bad husband jail. Just the worst. What he made that poor woman go through. And then she gets out, right? She hits the silk on the whole royal life, tries to have a normal life. They end up killing her anyway. It's just. So, no, that wasn't a conversation I had with the guy in my neighborhood yesterday, that I'd be a good royal.
Well, it's always something that you can leave that in your holster. That if there's ever kind of a pause
We keep
or a little bit of a lull in the conversation, you go, do you think I'd make a good king of England? Because I think I would.
we keep talking according to this study because we think it's rude to bow out or stop talking too soon.
I'm done here.
In 30% of chats, at least one partner wanted to talk longer. And they say here in this study, whatever you think the person you're talking to wants, you're probably wrong.
It's the opposite.
Yeah. In the second part of the study, the research team surveyed more than 800 people online about a recent one-on-one conversation with a friend or family member, and they found a similar disconnect. 2/3 of respondents say the conversation went on too long. They found that since respondents were talking about conversations with people they knew, not strangers, there's a correlation between talking to strangers and talking to people that you know. My mom called me yesterday and had a story that was 10 minutes about how my aunt sent her something in the mail and there was postage due. And she thinks that's fishy because why would the post office take it and make her pay for the postage? And my mom is under the impression that the mailman's trying to shake her down for a tip.
Now, did you bring up the fact that you would have rather been born into the royal family than in the family?
That's not something you say to your mother. I'm not going to
As
say I
opposed
wish I
to-
was born into another family.
I wish I was the king as opposed to...
Okay. I want to be very clear here. I don't wish I was the king. I'm very satisfied with the life that I have now.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is, like, if I had to choose between being a member of the English royal family
Yes.
or being in the family that I'm in now,
Yes.
100 times out of 100, I would pick the family that I have now. Now, having said that, if circumstances were reversed and somehow I was born into the royal family, I would kick ass at being a royal. Because I would know the right balance of being a decent person and being a little grateful for having the world handed to you on a silver platter. I think I would be good at being born into better circumstances.
But you're only good at it because of the family that you were born into.
Well, that's interesting. Wow, that's an excellent point. I guess if I was raised by monsters, I'd probably be a monster. Wow, Darren. You've given me a lot to think about. Do you feel like this conversation's gone on too long?
Oh, boy.
Three.
There's a subreddit we visit from time to time here on Dave and Darren in the Morning where people wonder if their behavior was jerkish. They wonder if they're in the wrong. Now, the title of the subreddit I can't say on the air, but they're asking, am I the jerk here? They're using a much more colorful word, but one that I can't use in polite company on the radio. I mean, there is a Federal Communications Commission, after all, that makes sure we don't use potty language here on the morning show. So with that in mind, Darren, I have 3 stories here from this subreddit. I want to run. Well, we like to do 3 usually. The rule of 3s. We get 3 stories here. We find more often than not the people who are wondering if their behavior was boorish or offensive tend to be in the right because people who are jerks just don't care how their behavior affects others. But we'll see if there's any exceptions to that rule. Are you ready, Darren? You will be the judge and arbiter of whether or not these folks are in the wrong.
And the executioner.
Hear ye, hear ye. Am I the jerk for embarrassing my husband by leaving my party and going home? Saturday, my husband and 8 of our friends went out to a local bar to celebrate my 40th birthday. Restrictions where I live are loosened, so we thought we'd go, have a nice meal, and chat with friends that we haven't been able to spend time with in over a year. I am very introverted and shy. I do not like large groups of people, and I start getting anxious and have trouble breathing in very loud environments. My husband knows this and is aware of this and has been throughout the entirety of our 18-year marriage. When we go to the restaurant, he was acting very odd. I just chalked it up to him being there and our first time in a restaurant in over a year. Right after we finished eating, he excused himself to go to the restroom. 5 minutes later, he returns with a giant balloon bouquet, a cake, and a line of waitstaff behind him clapping and singing. All of our friends at the table were recording me on their phones. People at other tables were clapping, and all I wanted to do was crawl under the table and hide. The noise was unbearable to me. I started sweating and shaking, and I couldn't breathe, so I excused myself from the table and left the restaurant. I took an Uber home, and I left my husband at the restaurant. He drove his car, left him there with everyone else, and when I got home, I just laid in bed and cried. I felt humiliated. He came home an hour later yelling at me and accusing me of embarrassing him. I yelled back that he knows I don't like things like this, and he knows how I feel about it, and I told him he completely humiliated me in front of all of our friends and complete strangers. He said that it was my 40th birthday, and I should be grateful to him for planning such an event. I told him I was not grateful, that he didn't consider my feelings at all, and that he truly betrayed me by doing this. Now he's not speaking to me. He says I need to send an apology text to all of our friends to make things right. He also says he's not going to speak to me until I apologize to him for making a scene at the restaurant. So am I the jerk for leaving the restaurant and embarrassing him?
Well, if he knows all about this about her,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be filmed. I wouldn't have been going in the first place, so I don't see how she's a jerk. Although I can see people disagreeing with me on this one, but it's not a situation I would have put myself in the first place. So I have a hard time answering it.
Well, but she went to the restaurant under the guise of we're just going to visit with friends. She didn't go thinking that it was going to be the Chuck E. Cheese, birthday explosion, fire celebration, whatever. She didn't think it was going to be a big thing. She says here that she's been diagnosed with PTSD from an abusive childhood and has been in therapy for 22 years. And her husband is very well aware of all the triggers and diagnoses that she's gotten. In fact, he comes to counseling with her once a month.
Yeah, so knowing all of that,
Yeah.
I don't see how you can be all that upset with her.
Right. The husband's the jerk in this case. That's my call. How about this one? Am I the jerk for telling my daughter it's her own fault that there's no pictures of her? I have 5 kids. The issue is with my eldest, Clem.
Who never wanted to have pictures taken?
She's 26. The only pictures I have of Clem are from the day she was born to around her 8th birthday. None after that. She would ruin any picture she was in by making funny faces.
Okay, so it wasn't like
Hiding from the camera and making weird signs with her hands. It was like this until she was 12, when she started to straight up refuse to be in any pictures. When I would tell her to come for the family photo, she would refuse. We never forced her, but we would gently encourage her. She even refused to get her school picture taken. I have no pictures of birthdays, graduations, prom photos, holidays, or days out with her in them. It broke my heart because I don't have any pictures of her growing up. Family photos look odd because she's not in them. Well, now Clem is 26 and pregnant with her first child. She brought her significant other over for dinner, and after we were looking at photo albums, she got to hers and saw that it was nearly empty. She asked, "Hey, where's all the pictures of me?" And I told her she refused to have any taken. She got all teary-eyed and told me to stop joking.
No, you were there. You remember.
At this point, I'm very annoyed, and I tell her I'm not joking. She did this to herself. I told her she swallowed her pride and even had one picture. We wouldn't be like this today. She got angry and thought that I had printed out all the ones that she messed up. She got super upset and went to go sit in the car. Now I'm getting text messages from family members telling me I'm a jerk for putting her on blast and humiliating her. Well, am I the jerk?
For putting her on blast.
Well, for saying, listen, this is your fault. You there's no pictures because you didn't have the pictures.
Well,
and if this is a 26-year-old daughter, this would have been someone who grew up in an age where there are goofy pictures of us because we grew up at a time when it was film.
Yeah.
This is someone who would have grown up in an age where everything was digital, and it's like, no, you ruined this picture, you ruined this picture. I'm not getting this printed off.
Yeah, right.
So is that bad parenting, or did this kid do it to herself?
Well, the kid did it to herself, right?
Right.
I'm sorry you had to be a goofball.
And then there's an update. To those of you who are saying, who cares about rude gestures or goofy faces? I didn't realize I needed to say this, but the family photos weren't just for me. They were for everyone involved. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents on all sides. And I can guarantee none of them wanted a picture with an 8-year-old making the eat out gesture.
Oh, God.
And what is meant to be their nice family photo.
Okay. Yeah.
If the 8-year-old is doing this,
if that was your,
that's fantastic.
if that's
Snap that picture.
if that's, I'm not saying you shouldn't take the picture, but if that's your go-to move, how is it? You're only 20. You're only 26 years old. How do you not remember this?
Remember when you were 8, you would do the eat out gesture in every picture we tried to take as a family?
Oh, that's right.
Stop joking, Mom. Where are all the pictures of me? No, there aren't any pictures because you were a monster about pictures.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't remember at the age of 12 saying, I'm not taking any pictures ever again? Because that's what happened.
Yeah, I feel bad that you don't have pictures too, but I can't change it.
So the daughter's the jerk, not the mom.
Everything had to be Linda Blair with you.
Okay. We're trying to take a Christmas photo here.
Right.
You know, you do that at the end when you're taking the big family photo. You say, all right, everybody smile, and then we'll do the goofy one.
Yeah, right. If you want to do
the
a goofy one later.
and you get that out of your system.
Yeah, but everyone's going to be the goofy one. And no, I didn't think it was appropriate to take the picture of you in your prom dress doing that. I didn't think that,
Come on, Mom, quit joking around. Where's the pictures of me?
that would bode well for later in the evening.
How come all my brothers and sisters have photo albums and I don't have any? How do you not know why you don't have any?
Of course it wasn't that long ago. You're only 26.
Right? One last one. Am I the jerk for getting mad at my wife for how much she spent on her nipple piercing? A few months ago, my wife got one of her nipples pierced. At first, she just had a barbell with metal beads, but the other day she got an upgrade. Not long after I got home from work, she told me she got some new beads for it. She showed me, and I saw 2 diamonds on it. I asked her if the diamonds were real, and she confirmed that they are. When I asked how much she paid for this nipple piercing, she said it was $3,800.
Boy.
I could not believe it. At this point, I got extremely pissed off. I told her that I thought of spending that amount of money, especially on something that everyone except me, a doctor, and a few of her girlfriends is going to see, was incredibly irresponsible. I also thought she could have at least consulted me before spending a sum like that. I don't think I would spend more than $250 without consulting her. She said I was overreacting. She said she just sees it as her getting something nice for herself once in a while, and she doesn't care that nobody else will even see it. She also pointed out that she hasn't brought us into debt or anything over it because we're doing pretty well financially. And I'll admit she kind of has a point there. We actually fared pretty well financially despite everything that's happened, so it's not going to break the bank, and she's normally pretty good with money, but at the same time, I think she's out of line to splurge so much without even giving me a heads up. And I still think there's better uses of $3,800 than a nipple piercing. She took this money from our joint account, so am I the jerk here?
I don't know that you're necessarily a jerk. It's a lot of money. But having said that, there are bigger problems, and I would say enjoy.
The fact that it's the joint account, I think, is the sticking point, right? If this was her own money, then it's none of your business what she spends her own money on. But if she takes the money from the joint account, if you're going to take $3,800 from a joint account, whether it's to get your house painted or a nipple piercing, that's something you should probably have a discussion about.
Typically.
Right. Hey, I just tried to pay for something, and I just was taking a look at our statement, and there's $3,800 missing from the account. You know anything about that?
Although I do like this more than a new painted kitchen.
I would like to spend more time looking at it, for sure.
So, right. So I don't have that big a problem.
Four.
You ever eaten at Panda Express?
Yes.
There's the one in Moline I know of.
Yes.
Is that the only one in town?
I think so. Over there by what was the movie theater.
Right. I've never had it, and in part because I don't care for the name. It sounds like
they're serving pandas?
you sliced up a panda. And I don't know that I would eat a panda. I mean, I suppose if I was starving, if it was just me and a panda on an island, I imagine at some point I'd kill that panda and eat it up.
Me and a panda. On a tropical island.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess pandas are an animal that you think of when you think of China, so it's like fast food, Chinese food, right?
Yeah, but I think you're going to find out that panda, if you take a closer look at it,
Yeah.
is not unlike your kangaroo.
Yeah.
It's just a killing machine.
Oh, is that right? Pandas are deadly? Panda Express, a fast casual Chinese restaurant. That's what they like to call it. There are more than 2,200 Panda Express locations in these United States. They are headquartered in Rosemead, California.
You must try their firecracker chicken breast.
Is that right? How is it seasoned? Why would is that what they're known for?
No, that's just the special they've got going on right now.
Oh, so you go often enough that you can tell me what the special is at the moment.
Oh,
You're a fan of the Panda Express is what I'm finding out about you.
I'm
right now.
actively involved.
Founded in October of 1983 by Andrew and Peggy Chung. Panda Express is in the news this morning. Now, this is not the store in Moline. This is a store in Santa Clarita, California.
Now, is this not good news?
Generally, when I'm sharing news here on the show, it's not good news. More often than not, when I'm reading a story to you, it's not, hey, good job.
So I'm going to.
It's not really what I'm into.
I'm going to be rethinking the PE here soon.
Well, everything's fine with the food. This is just a problematic work environment. A former employee at this Panda Express is saying she was required to strip down to her underwear and hug a partially clad coworker during a cult-like ritual at a training seminar that the company was sponsoring as a prerequisite to getting a promotion there at the Panda Express. This 23-year-old woman suing the Panda Restaurant Group, as well as Alive Seminars and Coaching Seminary, for sexual battery, a hostile work environment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She wants unspecified damages.
So you're saying it's possible that another one of my fast food options is a cult.
I mean,
Yet another one.
I mean, at this point, you just have to assume they're all cults, right?
Yeah, if you're getting anything through a drive-through, it's a cult.
The woman's attorney says we're looking forward to presenting this case to a jury so that a clear message can be sent to Panda Express that it has to put an end to this practice of requiring its employees to undergo horrific psychological abuse and harassment to be promoted. Now, if this is something they're doing across the country, if this is something that the folks at the Panda Express in Moline had to endure, they might want to get on the phone with a lawyer as well. Panda Restaurant Group saying they're taking this woman's allegations seriously and they're conducting their own investigation.
Certainly.
The Alive seminars that were used in order to get a promotion. This victim says she started working for Panda Express back in 2016. And she was told in July 2019 by the store manager that she needed to complete a self-improvement seminar in order to get a promotion there at the Panda Express. I'm reading here from the lawsuit. Quote, eager to improve her skills and advance within the company, the plaintiff signed up and paid out of pocket to attend a 4-day program. Panda Express pushed its employees in the LA region to complete the Alive Seminars training.
That you have to pay for yourself?
In many cases, this was a prerequisite to promotion. You bring up an excellent point at the beginning here, Darren. Why do I got to pay out of pocket for a promotion? That seems culty right there. It gets a lot more culty, though. The seminar was held in an East Los Angeles warehouse. It was attended by 20 to 50 Panda Express employees from all throughout Southern California. Those who attended the seminar were required to provide their employee identification numbers and received materials that had the Panda logo on it. The complaint alleges that the seminar was bizarre and very quickly devolved into psychological abuse. At the start, attendees were told to sit down and not talk. They were left in isolation for a full hour before a man stormed in, yelling at them in Spanish and berating them for sitting there and doing nothing. which is exactly what they had been instructed to do.
Can you imagine that's what you got to do? It's like, oh, so what do you got going on this weekend? Oh, I got to hold another one of those seminars in the warehouse.
I got a bunch of people at Panda Express that want to move up the Panda ladder, so I got to go scream at them in Espanol.
Put him through the paces. What?
The man, so these people were told, sit in the room and do nothing. This guy comes in, starts screaming at them for doing nothing, even though that's what they were told to do. He loudly told them that they were all nothing and that they didn't matter, and berated them all individually. The overall effect...
And it's your job to do that.
The overall effect was that of a particularly nasty drill sergeant. You know, we gotta break these Panda Express employees down if we're gonna build them up into anything, Darren. Seminar participants were prohibited from using their cell phones. There was no clock in the room, and all the doors and windows were covered with black cloth. The atmosphere resembled less a self-improvement seminar than the site for an off-the-books interrogation of terrorist suspects. The sensory isolation and intimidation were reinforced by constant yelling and verbal abuse by the seminar staff, creating an atmosphere of fear in the room. Nevertheless, most attendees felt they had no choice but to remain because they were sent to the seminar by Panda Express and told that their opportunity for promotion would depend on completion of the seminar. By the way, you're paying out of pocket to have this guy scream at you in a dark room for your weekend. When the seminar continued the following day, the woman was forced to strip down to her underwear.
It's a 2-day event?
It was a 4-day event. And we're not paying you for those 4 days you're taking off to the self-help group. I'm not doing it. She was forced to strip down to her underwear under the guise of trust building. Lawsuit says the plaintiff, stripped almost naked in front of strangers and coworkers, was extremely uncomfortable but pressed on because she knew it was her only chance at a promotion. Meanwhile, the staff were openly ogling the women in their state of undress, smiling and laughing. The exercise culminated when the victims and other participants had to stand up to yell about their inner struggles until everyone else in the group believed them. The last male participant had some difficulty convincing the others and as a result broke down in tears. Plaintiff was told to stand up and go to the middle of the room with the male participant where they were forced to hug it out wearing nothing but underwear. Plaintiff was humiliated, but she did as she was told. As time went on, the seminar more and more resembled a cult ritual. They kept dimming the lights. Other attendees were instructed to stand up and close their eyes, pretending that light from above would come down and take all of the negative energy out of them. Then they had to pretend that a hole opened up in the ground and swallowed all the negative energy. While this was happening, the staff of the seminar had a cell phone with the light on, recording everyone as they were in their underpants. The lawsuit alleges these attendees were confined in the atmosphere of fear and intimidation. If you wanted to use the bathroom, someone from the staff would stand outside the door. When another participant ran to the restroom to go throw up, seminar staff ran after her. Another male participant was only given a small trash can to throw open and was forced to puke in front of all the other attendees. During the session on July 13th, the victim made an excuse of a family emergency and left the seminar.
Well, I guess I'm off the firecracker chicken then.
I mean, what are you doing?
Guess I'm done with that.
Again, this was in California. It doesn't say that this is something they were doing across the Panda Express, but that's messed up. That is just messed up. All right, you're going to puke in front of all of us now. This is going to help you in your road to advancement here at Panda Express. 716.
So what are you doing these days? Just running some seminars.
I gotta scream at a bunch of people in their underpants for a fast casual Chinese restaurant.
So
Panda Express, you ever heard of it?
I'm gonna go ahead and leave now. I gotta psych myself up for this.
Five.
Five.
Number 5.
Darren, I don't have to tell you, animals do the darndest things.
It's true.
And we like to highlight their exploits in a segment we call Dave and Darren's
Animal Farm. Whoa, if I could talk to the animals, just imagine it chatting with a chimpanzee. Oh, you're just marvelous. Imagine talking to a tiger, chatting with a cheetah. What a neat achievement it would be.
See how I make my one eye go dead when I do that impression? It's about the craft. I am very excited about this segment. We've got a bunch of stories of animals doing crazy things. Joining us, as always, your host, the charming and delightful old Uncle Darren.
Hello there, little snot-nosed Davey.
Can't wait to hear what these animals are up to this week. Turkey destroyed a dentist's office in California.
Like they do.
This was a turkey that they say was known to hang out around the dentist's office. They were not prepared when this thing came inside Fair Oaks, California. One of the managers there at the dental office says she was having a normal day when out of nowhere, this turkey crashed through the windows of the office.
Looking for Novocaine, no doubt.
The bird entered with so much force that the woman said she thought the bird had been thrown into the building.
No, I saw it. He put his shoulder into it.
Did somebody throw a live turkey at us? That's an interesting thought. Somebody's throwing live turkeys at us. Yeah. They hate our office so much.
They're using turkeys as a weapon.
Donna McDonald.
Donna?
Donna, this is my secret. I'm gay. I love wearing women's clothing.
Right.
Remember this bra? These panties?
Remember these chiblets?
Remember this turkey?
These were my dead mom.
This was my dead mom's turkey.
To my mom.
This wishbone is a tribute to my dead mother turkey. Donna McDonald tells the Sacramento Bee, quote, I thought it actually got hit by a car. She says she found the bird stuck in the patient waiting area. Good news, there was no patients in the waiting area at the time.
Because they wouldn't have had patience for that.
Like, you're already on edge when you go to the dentist, right? And then you get a bloody turkey thrown at you? The turkey was then scratching and clawing up the walls, doing significant damage to the office.
Not unlike Larry as a child.
Animal control was called, and they had trouble wrangling the wild turkey. He was captured, though, eventually, and removed from the office. Animal experts suggest that it's possible this turkey saw his reflection in the window and tried to attack it because he thought it was another turkey.
That's always the way.
The turkey was part of a larger gaggle, and it is mating season for turkeys. So that accounts for this aggressive behavior. They need to now repair the walls and repaint everything. Also, the shattered glass cut a bunch of chairs up, and they're going to have to do a deep cleaning. So this turkey did a lot of damage.
Just looking to get my 6-month beak cleaning.
Is the turkey going to be all right?
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, no, the turkey's fine. Miami, Florida. Officers at a Florida police station looked out from a second-story window and came face-to-face with an unexpected visitor, a green iguana. Cape Coral Police Department sharing photos of the iguana peeping in through a second-floor window at the police station after scaling the side of the building.
Hello. Just call me the green iguana.
Green iguanas, it should be pointed out, are an invasive species in Florida. They've been blamed for all kinds of damage to the infrastructure, including seawalls and sidewalks. They belong in Central and South America and some Eastern Caribbean islands. They do not belong in Florida. That's not where they're supposed to be.
Florida? But that's America's wing.
Yeah, the post here says, have you ever had the feeling you were being watched?
You are.
Our detectives found this curious iguana looking in the window of their office on the second floor. Who knew that iguanas were great climbers? I think everybody knows that, right?
Yeah, that's all they do.
An emu on the loose after escaping from a farm in Washington state. They're asking residents to keep an eye out for this escaped emu that slipped through a damaged section of fencing. AJ's Acre in Everett said somebody cut through the facility's fence on Wednesday night, allowing 3 emus to get loose. 2 of the large Australian birds were quickly recaptured, but the third, who's named Sarah, remains at large. The farm said Sarah was last seen wandering through a neighborhood. Owner said animal control's been notified of the bird's escape. Members of the public are being urged not to approach Sarah, as she could become spooked and then either go back into hiding or run into traffic.
Sarah remains knee-deep in the hoopla.
Finally, a North Carolina family's rabbit has tied the world record with a litter of 24 babies.
He's done it. The bunny's done it.
A North Carolina's family pet rabbit gave birth to a litter of 24 baby bunnies, unofficially tying the Guinness World Record. Tiffany Robbins of Winston-Salem says that her family was told that their male rabbit Romeo was fixed before they got him. So they were shocked when their female rabbit, whose name is Vader, started giving birth. Romeo and Vader. Please, Hollywood, make that a movie. I will watch. They say it was 10, then 15. And then, yeah, oh my gosh, she had 24 babies, she says here. The family is now hand-feeding some of the babies to ease the strain on Vader. They looked up the Guinness World Record and discovered that Vader's litter ties the record for largest litter of rabbits, which was set in New Zealand. Romeo, by the way, is now staying with a family friend to prevent any further surprise pregnancies. Is Vader the rabbit gonna be all right?
You've got a rabbit named Romeo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're shocked that this happened?
We were told he was fixed. But yeah, you're right. That shouldn't be that much of a shock. He's a real Romeo, that one.
He invaded Vader.
And that's Dave and Darren's
Animal Farm.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I didn't think it'd be like this.
Well, there is your top 5 things. Thanks for downloading, subscribing, and leaving a review.
It was brought to you by Nature's Treatment of Illinois. They're experienced wellness consultants. If you need, we'll sit down with you and discuss what options are going to work best to make you feel most comfortable. Frequently asked questions are answered. If you go to the website, ntillinois.com, you can sign up for the newsletter and connect with Nature's Treatment on Twitter and Instagram.
Until we get a chance to do it for you again, hang loose, kooks.
And you stay classy and safe, Quad Cities.
Come on, Quad Cities, represent. This is for the Quad Cities record spot. Davenport, yeah, we keeping it locked. Rock Island, come on, and it just don't stop. East Moline, yeah, they keeping it hot.
Well, it was fun. I'm gonna go take a nap now, and then I think I'm gonna call some hospitals.